come along with me and see if we can make something work. I'm going to take this plain little jewelry box, pleather, and see if we can turn it into something a little bit more upscale and interesting. So let's give it a try. I have these transfers for polymer clay, and I want to see if they will transfer and actually stick and stay in place on this little jewelry box. So I'm going to work with these. I like all the colors in it. I am going to give this to my daughter, and she likes the pinks and oranges right now. So let's give it a try. First of all, I am going to make a template for this little box, and I just have brown paper that I'm going to trace and cut the circle out. And I'm going to cut a little bit off the circle because I just want to give myself a little bit of an allowance for when we put the transfer on. So we're going to cut around that outline and create our template. Now that I have our template, we will prepare our transfers. So working with our transfers, we have 2 sheets that will need to be put together. So this is like working with wallpaper and fabric all at the same time. So that white, we're going to cut that off. So when you're working with fabric, that's called a selvage. And we're going to kind of figure out where we're going to get our seam placement on the top of the lid, since we have to put 2 together. So we're going to cut the white part off. Now that we have the white cut off, we are going to see where our seam's going to be, see if we can line up the pattern. So this is kind of, again, back to sewing or hanging wallpaper. You're going to line up the pattern and see where the best placement is. I'm going to tape, so on these transfers, they have a plastic sheet over on the top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and tape where I'm going to make our seam. So I want that to butt up and line up where the flowers will match on each side of the seam. So I'm going to tape it, and then I'm going to, since we had to overlap a little bit to get the flowers to line up, and again, they still didn't line up the best, I'm going to now cut that on my line that I drew of where the flowers line up on the transfer. So it will be seamless and flawless across the top of the jewelry box. So I'm gonna line those up again since I've got that back piece cut off, and see if I can get them to line up correctly. Now that I got things lined up, I'm going to tape it in place on the back, and then we will put our template on and give it a trace and cut out. Trying to trace paper on paper is a little difficult, and it doesn't need to be exact. I just need to have an idea of where I need to cut. Now that I have this cut out, we're going to see if it fits on the top as well as I'd like it to. I'm also going to tape around the top of the jewelry box, because if this sticks like I think it's going to. I don't want it to come down on the sides, but I would like it to go over that edge just to give it a nice finished look. So I'm going to tape around the bottom part of the jewelry box so the transfer doesn't go any farther than I want it to. So now we're going to take the tape off the top and peel off the plastic protective layer, and wish us luck. Get it placed on there. I'm going to use a sponge and some water just to get it soaked and transferred over. And I'll take the tape up to also get it damp in there. And I believe it's coming out beautifully. It's looking good. So I'm going to just use my little clay tool here and go around the edge, making sure it's all laid down nicely. And then peel up the painter's tape gradually as we go. It's looking so good. I can't believe this worked. So I'm just pressing down and making sure it's all stuck down. Oh my goodness, this just leveled up this cute little jewelry box. Plain to amazing. I'm so excited and happy with how this turned out. If you liked this, please like, comment, and share.